words are those helpful words that give you 1 or 2 seconds to think about what you're going to say before you say it. They are a normal and natural way to collect your thoughts before you speak. All languages use filler words, but it's important that you don't use the filler words or the filler sounds that are in your native language with English, because then it will not sound natural. Hello, my name is Kendra with Fluency King, and in today's English lesson, we're going to discuss 10 filler words that you can use when you just need a few extra seconds to think about what you're going to say. We'll talk about how to use them, when to use them, and when to avoid using these filler words. So, if you're new here, please remember to hit that red subscribe button so you can get new English lessons like this every week. Let's start with my personal favorite filler words. I use these myself daily to try to collect my thoughts before I speak. These words are well and so. Now for these filler words, you would use them at the beginning of the sentence, and they're good because they give you about 3 seconds to try to compose your sentence before you speak it out. Well is a better word for the first sentence that you say, and so is a better word for usually any sentence that follows the first one. So, for example, if someone asks you something like, "Did you finish the report?" If you need a second to think of your answer, you can say, "Well, I was close to finishing, but something came up. So I should finish it by tomorrow, so don't worry." So you can see here how we use well to get the conversation started, and in each subsequent sentence we use so as the filler or the starter word to get the sentence started. What if, though, you need even more time? Well, you can use these filler phrases to try to fill up some time while you're still thinking of what you want to say. You can say, "Let me see. Let me see here. Let me think. Let me think a moment." All of these are great options just to fill up the time, just to fill up a few seconds so you can think of the answer. So you can also combine the filler words together to even extend the time more. You can say, "Well, let me see," and then say what you need to say. Or, "Well, let me think about it a moment." And then that's giving you a lot of time to compose what you want to say, and then you can fill in whatever you need to say after that. Okay, now the next most common filler words are actually 2 sounds, and These are the most common sounds that English speakers use to fill in the gaps while they're trying to think of what they're going to say next. You should never write these sounds down in your writing, and you should also try to avoid using these sounds in your formal speeches and in your prepared presentations, because they sound unprofessional if you're giving a prepared speech. But these sounds are very useful tools if you're in a one-on-one conversation that's spontaneous, unprepared, and unrehearsed. Now, and can be used interchangeably. So you really can pick your favorite sound or pick the sound that's the easiest for you to say and remember, and just use that as your filler word. So some examples. If someone asks you a question, "How many people live in your hometown?" You can say, "I'm not really sure," or "I'm not really sure." So if you combine all those filler words together, somebody asks you a question, "Where is the report?" You could say, "Well, let me see. The report is in the office in the top drawer of my desk." So here you need some time to think about where the report is. It's not even a translation problem where you're having trouble finding the right words. You're just having trouble remembering where the report was. So you can say, well, let me see. Yeah, that report is, it's in the top drawer of my desk. Or you can say, well, let me think. The report is in my office on the top shelf. Things like that can kind of help you fill up the time. And once you get comfortable with doing that, you don't feel so rushed anymore when you have to speak in English. Another common filler word is the word like. Now, like is used mostly when you need to tell a story about something that's happened to you. But like is a filler word that's very easy to overuse. You'll actually see this problem with native speakers, especially with young ladies, young women. They tend to overuse the word like a lot. So sometimes you could hear things like, we were like halfway through the movie when like this guy's phone went off and like he actually took the call. You'll hear sentences really like that. And the like in this scenario is just a filler word so they can think about what happened and they have an extra second to tell what happened to them. That's all. So you can replace that with as well. We were halfway into the movie when this guy's phone went off and he sat there and took the phone call. So works as well, but it's not as fluid really as saying like. So in this case, like is a little bit better when it comes to telling a story. But again, you wouldn't want to use like 3 times in your story. It's a bit excessive when you get over using it 1 or 2 times. So you can hear how it would sound without the filler words. We were halfway into the movie when this guy's phone went off and he sat there and took the call. So you can see the sentence sounds so much better without any filler words. But sometimes it's just really hard, even for native speakers, to tell a story unrehearsed, unprepared, without using a few filler words. They are useful, but you want to try your best not to use so many of them. Our last filler phrase would be, you know. So you would pronounce this one with a Y-A, you know. But you would never write it this way. You would still write it the regular you know. And you can use you know anywhere in the sentence. So, for example, he was going to bring, you know, the drinks, but the storm canceled the event. So, when you put you know in there, it gives you a second to think, what was he going to bring again? He was going to bring, you know, the drinks. It gives you 1 little extra second to collect what you were going to say. You can also switch it out. He was going to bring the drinks, but the storm canceled the event. Or you could use like. He was going to bring like the drinks, but the storm canceled the event. All of these work if you need a second to think about what you're going to say next. So these are the 10 filler words that we've covered. Well, so let me see. Let me see here. Let me think. Let me think a moment. Like, and you know. Remember, these filler words are useful sometimes when you're telling a story that you haven't prepared for. It just gives you a few extra seconds to think before you speak. These filler words are only for spoken English. You would not write these filler words down. The only exception would be well and so. Well and so are the only two filler words that you would write down. And just try your best not to overuse these. The more you overuse filler words, the less confident you sound. So now, please like, leave a comment, and hit that red subscribe button so you can get more lessons like this every week. And if you're interested in taking your English to the next level, check out fluencyking.com. There, we have our free ebook on how to become fluent, and we also have our full English course, Master English. The links for those are in the description box below. As always, thanks so much for watching, and happy practicing until next time. Bye, guys!